Right mates, how's it going? In today's video, chapter 7 of Shadows Rising. I forgot which book I was doing. By Madeline Rue. So let's go! The petitioner's request is hereby... The crowd gathered near the throne stared in anticipation, and Talanji kinda loved it. Holding court was probably one of her favourite things to do as queen. Granted. The audience erupted in cheers, and the petitioner in question, a young girl no more than 17 years old, called Navre, blushed and breathed a sigh of relief, and then smiled from ear to ear. Navre belonged to one of the struggling noble houses that had been tied to the traitor, Yasma. And although her family had been cleared of any wrongdoing in a legal sense, they were still kind of suffering from a severe lack of gold and a stain on their family name, which in turn was preventing Navre from being able to honourably marry her love, Keela. But not anymore. Now that Queen Talanji had granted her petition, there was nothing stopping the two young girls from marrying. So that's lovely. Fortune and health to them both.
Happy small things. Good to see. Boring, but good.
The majority of the crowd then started to disperse from the council chambers. It had been a long day, a grueling day, but Talanji didn't mind the fact that a queen's time was never truly her own. It was a sacrifice she made gladly. Her people were her greatest pride. The light of the lower shine on us. I think that was the last one. Oh, spoke too soon. The troll then shoved their way through, waving their arms about.
Conk, carry me away. It never ends.
Is it true? Is it true what they say? Did the Horde really try to kill the Queen? They want to take the city for themselves. The crowd members that had not quite left the council chambers yet gasped. They were going to stick around for this. Justice! Horde defilers! Traitors! Silence! Please. These rumours are just that. Rumours. But we are part of the Horde. Who tried to kill our Queen? Talanji was kind of tired, but she knew she needed to find the exact right words for this situation. These people could smell a scandal, and they bloody loved scandals. Yes, we are part of the Horde, but only if they support us as we deserve. They will meet our demands, the demands of Dazar'Alor. We will not serve them unless they serve us too. Look, one of them, an assassin! The crowd shifted and formed a sort of barrier around a new arrival to the council chamber. Talanji squinted, trying to make out who it was, but there were people in the way. He's from the Horde! Get him! The crowd then quickly started turning into a mob as people started throwing things and trying to shove the new arrival. And Talanji knew she couldn't afford to have the death of a Horde ambassador on her hands, so she put on her big strong queen's voice. Stop! Let him pass! Everyone in the room then froze before stepping aside, allowing the Horde troll to move forward. And it was at that point that Talanji finally realised who it was. Remove the petitioners. This meeting of the council is at an end. I will meet with this traveller. Talanji had left Orgrimmar in such a hurry that she'd never actually learned this troll's name, and it suddenly dawned on her that that had been a bit harsh, considering he'd saved her life. Come, state your business. I am here to serve as ambassador to the Horde. My name is Zekhan. Ambassador Zekhan. Ambassador? Try spy. Yes, spy. Ambassador. Spy. Eyes. Ears. The Horde is worried about you, Queen Talanji. More than that, they want your friendship, and they won't be given up. Well, they could have sent worse. And by that, Talanji meant they could have sent Thrall, the guy who remained stubbornly loyal to Jaina Proudmoore. What a prick.
You want Jonok smash him?
No, Jonok. He is under my protection. Talanji then stared at this new ambassador and studied him for a bit, and as he fidgeted, nervous and young, she thought, his inexperience is going to come in pretty handy. Ambassador Zekhan, if you are going to serve in this place, then you must know its many twisting halls. Come, I will be your guide. I thought Orgrimmar was impressive, but this is... Talanji smirked. The young forest troll looked as if his mind was being absolutely blown by the wonder of this great city, and it was kind of nice to see. Nothing like this in the Echo Isles. This would be like something from a dream. The palace has always been my home. I forget what it must look like to outsiders. Well, my palace was sand and shrub. My whole village could probably fit in your royal closet. Talanji grinned, but as they turned a corner, her smile faded. She'd been too distracted to realise they were approaching the heart of the pyramid. She'd avoided this part of the palace ever since... Something the matter? I remember loving this place. I played here as a kid, with my friend Parry. We'd chase each other for hours and hours, play hide and seek. I think I was that little girl again when my father died here. Made me feel small, just a child taking a crown and pretending to be queen. This is where I learned the true cruelty of the Alliance and their cursed witch Jaina Proudmoore. I spit on this armistice your council has negotiated. It ignores the pain of my people. But Proudmoore helped us free Bane, and she was there to stand with us against the Shara. You said you felt like a little girl when you took up your father's crown, but you changed. You'd be a real queen now. I saw it with my own eyes. The way you speak, your people listen. The Horde be listening too. So you're going to tell them about this then? No, Your Majesty. Your grief is your own. I lost people too. One father, then another. Another. Our High Overlord fell to the Banshee Queen's magic. He wasn't perfect. He was a killer. What he did to the elves, to their tree, that's something too big for me to judge. But he taught me how to be a soldier, how to stand tall. But Saurfang's gone. Nothing will change that. I only hope one Samdi helped him to his rest. Hey, maybe you could ask. He is close to you after all. Not that close. No? His throne is tied to the lower of graves. Well, that's what they say. And who is they? Everyone, Your Majesty. Everyone. Well, you're smarter than you look, Ambassador. Before Zekhan could respond or even blush at the compliment, Talanji noticed a bit of a ruckus behind him, and as she approached some guards to ask what the matter was, a spear flew through the air and struck one of the guards right in the face. The Queen's first thought was, how the bloody hell have rebels made it so deep into the palace? And her second thought was, I'm not going to die here, not in the same place as my father. Get behind me. Talanji sprang forward and did what she was told, and Zekhan followed, close to her heels. Outside the room, the corridor was filled with bloodthirsty whoops.
Hunt the Queen, whoop whoop. Hunt the Queen, whoop whoop whoop.
Is there another way out of here? No. We stand and we fight, as the Queen commands. Zekhan unsheathed the dagger that Rokan had given him, and ignited it with his Zappy Boy powers. They're coming! At least a dozen trolls then barreled into the chamber, but because they were kind of bottlenecked, the guard managed to take out 2 of them in one strike, almost immediately. And thanks to Talanji's protective shield, Zekhan's skills with the elements, and the fact that several Royal Guard reinforcements arrived pretty quickly, the rebels ended up kind of just embarrassing themselves, really. I want them alive. Unfortunately, the rebels did not plan to surrender. Instead, they hurtled towards the guards and impaled themselves on the sharp and ready halberds aimed in their direction. Except for one, donning a curious black mask. He sprinted directly at the Queen and pressed a knife to her throat.
The widow's bite be here, traitor Queen. They be all around you.
A plume of smoke then rose from behind him, and one bony finger tapped on the masked assassin's shoulder.
Boo.
One Samdi then vanished as quickly as he'd appeared, but before the assassin could turn back to Talanji and be all like, what was all that about? Zekhan stuck his dagger right in the asshole's neck, so he died. Talanji, meanwhile, was fixated on what the assassin had just said. The widow's bite? Impossible. Both Shadra and Yasma were dead, so why would they still be a thing? Are you alright? I'm fine. Tell me there are survivors. None, Your Majesty. They all killed themselves. Talanji then glanced around and saw the blood and death once again heaped on the floor in this part of the palace, and it was at this point that she realised that both Thrall and one Samdi had been right. These assassins were not going to stop coming. Double the patrols. Seal the palace. Zekhan, I wish to speak to the Horde Council. We have some things to discuss. And we're leaving it there! Shadowlands is just round the corner. So what I'm going to do is take next week off, so I can play it. It just makes my life a bit easier, because I don't have to worry about editing videos and stuff. Hopefully that's okay. As usual, link in the description if you're interested in buying this book. Also, there's links to my Discord server and my Patreon page too. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!